Hello everyone and welcome to another audio podcast in this series around the pathology storm. This is the Shientist, and today I'm going to talk to you about current treatments of COVID-19, reduction of accessibility of SARS-CoV-2 and ACE2 receptors. This is part of an overview in line with a an invited peer review publication or peer review manuscript and peer review publication towards a scientific publication, and this is an audio podcast in the Shientist Chartered Edition. It's a SZtorm Robotics production in collaboration with the Renal Patient Support Group, the RPSG. And so, excuse me, and so the severity of COVID-19 has led to an increased focus on developing appropriate treatment against SARS-CoV-2 to decrease the impact of the pandemic and protect the most vulnerable patients. The main aims of treatment focus on blocking the virus from attaching itself to ACE2 receptor, which would stop the viral entry. Knowledge about receptors, action, and the reaction of each substance within the cells during SARS-CoV-2 infection would actually contribute to the development of appropriate COVID-19 treatment. So, in line with this, or in keeping with this, one way to block the spread of SARS-CoV-2 is to introduce genetically modified ACE2 called human recombinant soluble or HRS ACE2, which would reduce the number of viral attachments to the actual cells. There is a drug, the drug APN01, contains HRS contains human recombinant soluble ACE2, and is currently in phase 2 trial testing for lung disease. Previously treatment known as Arbidol 20 has been used in treatment against the influenza virus, which impairs viral entry. It works as a virus host cell fusion inhibitor, and due to its broad spectrum antiviral application, is currently clinically tested against SARS-CoV-2. So a similar effect can be observed. Excuse me. A similar effect can be observed with the use of a soluble form of ACE2, and soluble ACE2 is naturally found within the plasma. In increasing its concentration in plasma would promote attachment of SARS-CoV-2, reducing the number of pathogens entering the cells. The approach not only reduces severity of disease, but also preserves tissue ACE2. And so the next audio podcast in this series around the pathology storm will look to highlight antivirals on COVID-19. This has been an audio podcast on current treatments and COVID-19, reduction of accessibility of SARS-CoV-2 and ACE2 receptors. It's a SZtorm Robotics production in collaboration with the Renal Patient Support Group, the RPSG. This is the part of the Shientist Chartered Edition, and I've been your host, the Shientist. Thank you for for taking the time to check this out. Thank you.